Hey guys, it's GCubing here. This is the updated OnePlus 3 review. The previous video I had some technical difficulties with the audio, so I thought why not make a new one. So this one we're going to be looking through the designs, then the specifications, and as such the UI and the other features on the phone. Go ahead and jump into the design first. So on the whole, the phone has a really good design with the 5.5-inch AMOLED display. So this is how it looks right out of the box with the screen protector. Right down there is the fingerprint scanner on the phone, fastest in the world, of course. Coming right after this is the iPhone 6s. On the top, we have the 8 megapixel camera, the LED notification bar, and the stereo speakers. Jumping to the bottom, we have the USB Type-C port right there in the center for charging, the speakers on the left side, and the auxiliary input on the right, the 3.5mm jack. And also, we have some microphones right next to the stereo speakers. At the left side, we have the volume rockers and the 3-slide notification button. We'll be looking into the 3-slide notification button also. That's basically a 3-step notification button. So one is for silent, one is for priority notifications, and the other one is for all notifications. So when you slide the phone, the notch to the bottommost, you get the all notifications option. The topmost is silent, and the middle one is priority notifications. So that's the middle, and when you jump down, you get the all notifications. And of course, when you're in a meeting or something like that, you want to push it to the silent, just slide it right onto the top. It's pretty recognizable with your finger, whether you're at the bottom or the middle, whatever. So jumping right out of the back, it has a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera with OIS and EIS, that's optical and electronic image stabilization. Down there we have the flash, and of course we have the antenna bands just like the HTC One M9 and the iPhone 6s. So I've told in the video, this phone looks just like that in the back. The combo of both iPhone 6s and the HTC One M9. On the right side we have the sleep pick button, and of course the nano SIM card ejection tool. So basically you get two SIM card slots, two nano SIM card slots. Of course you can't use them for upgrading your memory or something like that. You get a nano SIM card slot and not a micro SD slot. So this comes in with just the internal memory of 64 gigabytes. So you have to manage stuff with that. Of course that's pretty good. 64 GB isn't bad, but of course if you go in for cloud or other storage options. So inside the nano SIM card tray, you would see the dummy SIM right there. So of course I'll be using only one SIM card slot right now. That's my main SIM. You'd be getting these dummy SIMs. You could probably just keep them on for making a new nano SIM or something when you get a new SIM card. That's it. There's no other use for that. So that's it for the design. The phone on the whole doesn't have any cons in the design other than the bump of the camera at the back. So let's go ahead and jump into the specifications of the phone. So let me boot into the phone while I'm going through the specifications. This is the flagship phone of the year with stunning features. It has a 5.5-inch 1080p AMOLED display, which is a really bright display and stunning display. And of course you have 6 gigabytes of RAM with 5.6 usable, and the main camera is a 16 megapixel f2.0 camera, and of course the front camera is an 8 megapixel, as I told you guys. The back you have the 3000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty bad for the big display, but of course the dash charging will compensate for this with fast charging and blah, blah, blah. Processor is the Snapdragon 820 processor, along with the Adreno 530 GPU, which powers this phone and runs the phone lag free, and it's pretty snappy as well. So as far as gestures are concerned, O is for opening the camera and switching on. We have V for turning on the flashlight, just like that. And when you hit V again, you could go back to switching off the flashlight, like that. And then slide down with both your fingers to switch on music, and then slide them back down for switching them off. And of course draw the lesser than or greater than symbol for going to the previous track or the next track. And finally we have double tap to wake. So these are the gestures that are available on the phone. Go into the settings. It's down there. Go on to the about the phone to look at the OS right So it comes in with Android 6.0.1 with 6 gigabytes of RAM. As I told you, it's 5.6 GB usable, and of course the internal storage is 64 GB, and approximately 52 is usable right out of the box. It comes in with Oxygen 3.2.7 OS, and that's it for the operating system and the hardware specifications. So you also have this customizable option on Oxygen OS where you could go into dark mode, right? That's what I'm using right now, where you have this black color setup instead of the usual stock white and gray setup. So it's pretty good. This is the LED notification customization. So there's pretty much options for, customizing your phone right there. So one more important thing is the camera on the phone. So right now, if you want to switch to a DSLR or something like that, you could go ahead and buy a OnePlus 3 because that would be a really good alternate. It gives you the manual mode and other features. So let's go ahead into one of the features. That's the slow one. Let's go to the features one by one. We have the slow motion camera first. So the slow motion camera records at 120 frames per second. That's pretty good. It's as good as a iPhone 5s, and of course the quality is pretty good as it's 4K. That's not just pretty good, it's really good because you can record in 4K. This is the video mode where you can switch between 4K, 1080p, and of course 720p. And right there is the manual mode where you can customize your ISO, your white balance, your shutter speed, and also your manual focus. So this is the white balance right there, and of course the shutter speed as well. So you get all the options that you would get on a DSLR, approximately 30 seconds for long exposure and 1 by 3000th of a second, and up to 1 by 4000th of a second too. So I'll just close these apps and go into what this phone can really do with all this RAM and power. So if you're really into gaming, this is a really good option for buying a gaming phone. Like when you want to play some hardcore games like Nova 3 or Asphalt 8 or some high graphic games like NBA 2K17 as well. So on a regular phone with a dual core processor or probably even a quad core processor, you can't run the game so well. So on this phone, it's pretty snappy. It doesn't have any lags and gives high frames. So this is the UI as such. When you slide to the left, you don't get the Google Now. Instead, you have this Oxygen OS custom built organizer kind of thing. When you pull down the notification panel, you'll get the NFC option, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all the basic options. The NFC is the bumped head thingy, which is not there in all the phones, but most of the phones are coming up with NFC. It's not only for transfer of data, but also for Android Pay, which you might have seen when I was scrolling through the apps. So it's not yet launched in India, but it's coming out in many countries like the United States, the UK, and Singapore, and many other places. So I'll go ahead and put the brightest down by a notch. So that's the phone with all the gaming capabilities. Now let's just jump into something like Photoshop, or if you want to do anything like Photoshop, this is a really good option because of the processor, the GPU supporting it. That was a 4K video. So let me stream it. So for streaming all these 4K videos, the Snapdragon 820 processor and the Adreno 530 GPU along with the 6 GB of RAM makes it smooth and renders the videos really fast. So it runs the videos pretty smooth. Yeah. So if you see, the clarity is pretty good. Though the display is a 1080p display, it can play the 4K video without any lag. The bump on the camera, nothing else is a con in this phone. So to cover this up, you have the cases. So this is the SpeedGen case that I'm using right now. It has a small plastic coating kind of thing which supports, like blocks the camera from touching the floor directly, and also some smooth texture kind of thing which adds on to the grip you get when you hold the phone, because my hands are pretty small for this phone, but with that grip, I can hold on to the phone without it slipping and falling out of my hands. So it's also pretty rigid. I can just drop my phone off on the table or the couch, I'll be guaranteed that it won't break or anything like that, or cause some damage on the phone or scratches or anything like that. So buttons. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos. So the next video will be on the speed test between the OnePlus 3 and the iPhone 6. So stay tuned, guys.